Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, of course, man.
You in Sweden or where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Sweden. I'm actually at my parents' place. They have a place outside the city, so it's nice to be here sometimes in the summer to just like, it's a peaceful vibe and so yeah, I'm here.
That's awesome. I know, like in Norway, we've been to Norway. Like people have these like cabins, right? Like outside of the, like, there's nothing. There could be like a cabin, and there's like for like I don't know, for a few kilometers, there's nothing else. Just one cabin in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's very nice actually, especially sometimes in the summer, like just to relax and it's chill.
That's awesome, man. Cool, man. Thank you. Like, I mean, we had this conversation like when was that? Like 1 year ago?
No, it was actually before. I think it was before Christmas. It was not that long ago. So I didn't expect us to have a call so soon again. So it's nice.
That's awesome, man. So you sold your business, right, for 2.5 million?
Yeah, exactly. But also, and I will explain that. But there's not just me selling my business all by myself. There's other people involved in it. But that's we sold the business for $2.5 million.
That's awesome, man. So tell me how this, like, because I think this is like the transition from, the transition overall from like drop shipping business, it's like, I mean, you starting it to make profit, right? Like it's arbitrage, right? Like at the beginning.
Yeah.
And like what a lot of people like kind of like selling drop shipping business is like, it's one of these like outliers. Like it's not, not everyone sells their business, you know what I mean? And so like how it progressed for you, how it evolved, kind of like for you to be in position where business sellable.
For a long time I was just thinking like probably most people like drop shipping business is a cash cow, and you try to start drop shipping to like quit your job and make money and all of that, those things. But so I my intention was never like to sell the business. I never I never expected that to happen. But for like half a year ago, I met a guy who has now become a very close friend, and he has been a major reason to make this the selling happen. But so because when he first like mentioned like would you be interested in selling your company or that kind of stuff, I was kind of laughing at first because I didn't know if that was real or like because that was never in my mind. But like then I kind of rethinking this whole thing when it comes to selling a business, and I think that, I mean, of course it's easier to sell a brand than a drop shipping business. But I also think the major key, at least if you want to sell your business for a good multiple, like the major key is to like your network, like your relationships and your surroundings. Like, because it would be hard for me. I mean, it would probably, I'm going to be humble and say it would be impossible for me to make this deal happen by myself. So I really have, the perspective now that you can really sell your drop shipping business for a good amount of money, but you have to like have the right kind of network and surroundings, and that's very important. You can of course make it happen by yourself, but it's I think it's I mean, it's so important to be surrounded by people who has the experience of selling a business or has the experience like have a good network, and they have the wealthy people and so on. So I really think that you can sell kind of any business as long as you have good relationships and know kind of the right people, especially if you want a good multiple. I mean, I could have sold this probably by myself, but I would never have been able to make this amount of money if I did it by myself.
For sure. I mean, yeah, the multiple that you have gotten for this, it's like, I think it's a very good multiple.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So what kind of like, in terms of those skills that you think helped the most, like, so like, I mean, you're an entrepreneur, like you're a marketer, right? I mean, these are like kind of like, you have these. What was these things that other kind of like partners, people that you partner up with, what were the things that they brought to the table? Did they tell you, okay, so here's how you have to think about business, or here is like how you have to hire people, or like what kind of like feedback did they give you, like when you just started working together? Or did they say like, holy shit, it's like it's a mess, or like, or it was like, how was it from the start?
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't really like they come into the company and made me do a lot of changes. I think, you know, the most like the key part first when you know, because to just tell a little bit about the deal, like this guy that I talked about, that, you know, we met half a year ago, and he was interested in what I did, and I told him about my business, and you know, they saw great potential in the business as well. So him and he this guy, he runs a company that works with stock algorithms. I don't really know much about it, but kind of that's what he does. And so
he's like day trading or something?
Not really, according to him. It's not like day trading, but similar to that. Maybe not like, you know, frequent deals as day trading, but similar to that. And so yeah, but he was interested in my business, and he saw potential in it. So he and his two business partners, they bought shares in my company, and then later we sold it to this listed company. But so initially, like, they didn't have so much to say about the structure or, you know, the processes in my business, because I think I know that better than these guys, because they don't have the experience in the ecom world. So it's hard for them to come in and say, you should do this and you should do that. So but yeah, I mean, so mainly they just, you know, saw potential, and they also had great connections, so they know some potential buyers. So yeah, it hasn't been so much things that they have come in and changed, but they of course wanted to see, you know, that you can show the numbers. I mean, that you are profitable, and you know, the numbers don't lie. So that's obviously the most important thing, that you have a profitable company and that you can show them great numbers. And they pretty much didn't care so much about the other things. So yeah.
That's interesting. How many people you have right now, like on your team, helping you out?
Right now we are 4 people, and 5 with me. So yeah, 4 people in the team beside me.
So you started with general dropshipping model, correct?
Yeah.
And so did you make some changes over time, or it's still like that kind of like general dropshipping model, like testing different products?
Yeah, it's still that model. We are preparing to take, you know, the winning products and stock them up in Sweden. And we are also planning on expanding to different markets. So we are soon gonna go into Germany as well. And then we're gonna expand, I think, pretty fast. So we will, you know, grow the team and grow the number of markets where we're selling at. And yeah, but it's still the same approach. Basically, it's still a general store. It's still, you know, testing products and stick with what works, and, you know, what doesn't, just leave it. So yeah, that's still the model. But we are planning to have our own inventory for the winning products, and make, you know, the customer experience and the conversion better. So yeah, that's how it is.
Cool. So having sold the company to this like listed company, do you have access to some of their like resources? Let's say you need, like, whether they have the infrastructure maybe for like fulfillment, right, that you could use, or any other things that kind of like would give you advantage in expanding?
Yeah, not that I know yet. Probably there could be some like you could take some good stuff from them and apply it to your business, because they also acquire other businesses, and maybe you can learn from these businesses as well. But not really. I mean, their philosophy, the listed company that bought us, their philosophy is like they want to acquire companies that are profitable and that has, you know, a vision for the future and that has, you know, a growth curve that is exponentially going up. And so then their philosophy is to let, you know, the entrepreneur run the company, like the entrepreneur who started the company or who runs the company, and let them do their thing because they know best what they are doing. And then they don't, you know, go and say, do this, do that, because they trust us.
They don't micromanage you, basically.
No, exactly. So that's also why the deal includes like I will get a payout or an earnout the 4 years coming from now. And so that's their in sentiment to like make me work for the company and you know, basically business as usual for me. And yeah, they are mostly interested in the results and maybe some other aspects later, but yeah, so they are not going, like you said, and micromanage or something like that.
Hey guys, people have been asking me how we scale to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, and we have a very sophisticated solution for this that I want to share with you, but it's just like too valuable to give away for free. So if you guys want this solution, just book a call with one of my team members and we'll show you exactly what it is and how it works, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you and for your business. So just book a call with my team member. We'll share it with you so you can scale your business to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, without having inconsistency, and with high profitability. So just book a call with my team and I'll see you there.
That's interesting. I think for these companies, as you said, what they care about the growth, right? So for example, that company might be like massive already, but now they have acquired your business. And even if their like main business might not be as fast growing, but now they acquire these fast growing businesses, right? So probably like on average, you know, kind of like that raises their like, kind of like it has impact on their like stock price or like other things in their business.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You win for both sides.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing also that I have opened my eyes for, that there's kind of a different world when it comes to listed companies. It doesn't work the same as, you know, a company that's not listed. And so just as you say, like they acquire companies and they like, you know, overall their revenue growth because they acquire these company and their profit grows and everything like that. So it's kind of a different world, and it's been interesting to get deeper knowledge on that too.
That's awesome. So in terms of, so you said like 4 people, pretty much what volume you've done, like for example, like last year, or like what volume you've done at the point where you sold the business?
Yeah, so last year we did about 1 million. I think, you know, we had our interview in late December, and then we did 1 million, and now we are at like 2 million. So yeah, that's the revenue. And in terms of profit, we're about 15% in profit margins, like when all the like costs are like, yeah. So basically 15% in profit.
That's awesome. So you said like nothing changed for you, right? Since you have sold that company, like everything is as usual.
Yeah. The thing is that I am not like, if I wanted to, I could like go to the beach and sip drinks, but that's not what I want to. So basically, like I said, the earnout or the payout, that's their incentive to still make me work in the company. And, you know, also to be honest with you, that's exactly what I wanted, because for me, I think this deal is ideal because, you know, I do, even though I'm building a brand beside this, I do also like the dropshipping model, and I do also like working on this business. So, and I want to grow it, I want to expand it. So for me, it was the best deal possible. Like you like cash out, but you also like you get to eat the cookie, but you also keep the cookie. So yeah, it's a good deal for me, I think.
That's awesome, man. So how is it like in Sweden right now? How do you feel about the market? Like, because, you know, I know some of the guys in the program, you know, in e-commerce scaling secrets, I mean, they're doing very well, like in Swedish market. How do you feel like in terms of the competition? Is it like getting like more competitive, a lot more competitive, like very, very difficult, or how it is right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would still say that it's a great market to be selling at. And I also think it's kind of fascinating, to be honest, because I know like a lot of people in the program and that are doing great numbers that, you know, they are selling in like Germany and Netherlands and Sweden. So it's pretty cool. I think that Sweden is like, you know, that attractive when it comes to the European markets, and I think, you know, it's still a very attractive market. It's not so much competition, and like if you have Klarna and, you know, and that kind of stuff, and you just you know, adapt to the market, I think you can do really great numbers here, because like it's not maybe a big market, the biggest market, but it's, you know, it's people that are used to e-commerce, and it's, you know, kind of like a wealthy land in general. So I think Sweden is a great market. But with that being said, I think, you know, you can see more competition coming in. If you compare it to when I started for like over a year ago, it's more competition now. But yeah, I don't see it that much. I still think like it's a good market.
For your branded product, you mentioned you have some other like brand on the side that, like, how do you like work with that? Also like Swedish market, only one market, kind of like refining the product, or like how do you plan kind of like on expanding that one?
Yeah, so we will start at the Swedish market and sell to the Swedish market only, and then we kind of have the same sort of strategy, like we will expand to different European countries, because you can say that both with this brand and with the dropshipping, like the kind of idea behind it is to basically take products that is working in the US and, you know, kind of like not viral products is maybe the wrong word, but products who are proven to work there, and take them to the European market. And, you know, obviously it's a no-brainer to start with Sweden because we are Swedish. And so yeah, that's actually, I mean, it's a very simple model, but it works. So yeah, that's how we will go about the brand. Like we will start with 2 products, and we will, you know, like, yeah, obviously then focus more on packaging and branding and design and everything like that. And we'll start there, and then we also have some, like, we will like develop some unique touch to our products later on, but we will not start there. First, we will just seek like proof of concept on what we are doing, and then we will add additional products, and some products we will also make a unique touch to them, and yeah, expand to different markets. So that's the plan with the brand.
Overall, like in general, like dropshipping teaches you to validate stuff, right? And test quickly. I think this is one of like overall, like in business, like it's having like proof of concept is probably like one of the most like important things, you know, with everything.
Yeah, so that's like one, sorry if I interrupted you, but that's kind of like one of the most important thing that I've learned, you know, since joining your program and getting the experience, that when a lot of beginners and also when I started my journey, like I tried to build the brand before I had proof of concept. So I tried to, I tried to make, you know, great content. What I was thinking was great content. I tried to, you know, put my logo and fix packaging and the design and the website and the colors, you know, all of that stuff. But before I had proof of concept, and that's something that is great with the dropshipping model, that you like get proof of concept so fast. You can test something so fast, and you know, once you have proof of concept, then you kind of build a brand. Or once you generated money, you reinvest the money to build a brand, not vice versa, and build a brand before you make money.
Such a good point. It might be different, you know, for some companies, but it's like, I think this model is perfect. This model could be like self-funded. A lot of people, they would just like get stuck on that, like drop shipping, kind of like doing drop shipping and like not evolve to the next stage, even though they might have like very big success with you know, with a drop shipping model. But as you said, it's somewhere in the middle, right? Like both, kind of like taking the best from like both models and kind of like putting them together.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So in terms of like your ad accounts, like pages, profiles, business managers, you had any issues with those, like getting banned or anything like that?
You know, I had not many bans, but I had some ad accounts go down. But like as you preach, I mean, you always have a backup for everything. So that's not really a problem. I mean, maybe there has been a few days here and there where our sales dropped, but nothing worse than that. So we have a good structure behind that as well.
So what are the next kind of like steps for you? Like, do you want to just like leverage these like several years with this company to learn as much as possible to grow your own company, or you want to like grow your brand and like sell same way? Like, what are you planning to do?
Yeah, so I will my focus will be on keeping growing the drop shipping company, and also, like I said, take some winners and stock them and see how that, if we can make the conversion rate and make room for better margins, and basically just grow the company and different markets and that. And then obviously also I want to grow the brand, and so there will kind of be my two focuses. Then later on, you never know if you if you want to start something else, but I like to have kind of a few focuses and just go kind of all in on them. That's when I function the best. So yeah, I will focus on the brand and on the dropshipping company, and kind of make the dropshipping company, even though it's a general store, kind of make that more into like a brand. So yeah, that will be my focuses. But also, like, now that we sold this company and you kind of are connected to people that has this experience, then you get very confident that you can make this happen again. So like, I think that's also very, like, obviously I'm not building my businesses just to sell them, because I think it's so much fun to the building process and that. But with that being said, like, of course it's of course later down the line you kind of want an exit maybe, and then I know now that it's possible for sure. Like if I sold general store dropshipping company, then I can sell another store or brand. So that's very cool. So yeah, that will be my focuses for the future.
What would be your like advice to, let's say, someone like you? Let's say when we had a first interview, someone's doing like 7 figures, doing well for themselves, and kind of like want to have these like next steps, potentially sell the business. So finding these type of contacts, finding these type of people, like, where would you recommend like to look for them? How would you approach that?
That's a good question. I think like if we like talk about, if you want to go to the next level, I think there's some parts, I mean, there's some components involved in that. One is, I think for sure, like your surroundings, and like having some kind of mentorship and talking to people that is already on the level that you want to reach and is kind of beyond you or above you. So that's very important, and that could be being a part of your mentorship program has that, but it's been life-changing for me. And it's I'm so thankful, and that's amazing, and that's a great component to, if you want to level up, like have some sort of mentorship and focus on the surroundings. But also it's important, I think, to like your like physical environment. Like also you have to know people and build relationship, like actually relationship where you not just talk on Skype and actually meet them and talk to them and become friends, and just build relationship basically. And then like if you have a dropshipping company, you don't just want to surround yourself with dropshippers, especially not if you want to like sell the business. Then I think you should focus on reaching out to like different people in the ecom space, like ecom owners, but not that are maybe into dropshipping, and like investors and just people like in different sort of spaces, because that can also be very valuable. And the way I did that was like, I, for like a year ago, when, after joining your program and quitting my job, I posted something about it on LinkedIn, and that got like insane exposure actually. So that way I got to connect with a lot of people, and actually like everyone I work with today is not everyone, but almost everyone I work with today is from LinkedIn. And it all started there, that I connected with people, and I booked meetings with them, like physical meetings, to connect with them. That has led to the connections I have today. And the kind of the guy behind making this the selling of the company happen, that guy I connected with first. I connected with his friend on LinkedIn, and then we met, and then later on it took me to him. So like that was the way I did it.
So like you did not do any of this like intentionally, right? It just happened by accident, right?
Yes, exactly. But that's why now when I think about it in hindsight, like I didn't do this because I wanted to sell the company, but in hindsight, it's so important to actually connect with people and to actually meet them and to actually build relationships. Of course, you're not going to build relationships on like some fake premises, or like just because you want to sell something to them, because that's probably not a good idea. But just connect out of curiosity, and because you want to learn about them and their business, and just share tips and how it is to be an entrepreneur or whatever. I think I really have understand like how important it is with like these kind of connections. And I mean, you could do it. You don't have to do it by reaching out to people on LinkedIn or, post on LinkedIn. You can probably do it any way you want. But LinkedIn is very like business oriented. So.
Yeah, LinkedIn is business oriented. Like today, like in few hours, I have a call with someone as well, like reaching out on LinkedIn, private equity firm, successfully, like, entrepreneur, also like exited business successfully. Also like, out of nowhere. I think LinkedIn is such a good like business network. I know one guy who's like, they also have like e-commerce company, and he got his kind of like products inside of like retail stores, like several different chains here in the United States, just by leveraging his a LinkedIn network, and also like he had a hold on PayPal. It's like $100,000, and he leveraged as well. Like he made a big deal out of it. I mean, he made a post, and because he has like quite a lot of influence, PayPal reached out to him and just like, returned like his funds.
I think that's a great way to do it. Like, the struggle with payment processors, that can really, be a thing for a lot of people, especially if you come from like outside the countries you're trying to sell in and stuff. And then I think it's a great way to like connect with real people on LinkedIn, because it's so easy to search people and, find, a company and see what kind of, positions people are in, and just like reach out to them and build connections there as well. Because at the end of the day, if you want to, like, you can, that's the thing that, when I started, I was just by my computer all by myself, working and grinding. And, that's kind of how you get started. But if you want to take it to the next level and build like really big businesses or sell your business, then it's so important to like, know people basically, because don't underestimate that. Don't just think that, okay, so this is their rules because they have said this on their website, so there's no point of doing anything about it. I mean, reach out to people, get to know them, and you never know what that can lead to. So I think also LinkedIn is a great way to do it. And I mean, I kind of posted, sort of this first month since joining your program, and, people probably on every platform, but people on LinkedIn also like, a success story. So if you can post something that, can inspire people or can give them some value, that's also, that doesn't hurt, because then you get the connections kind of naturally. And some people you have to sort out because they just want the quick results. But some people are actually like very good people, and you never know where it can lead you when you connect to people. We
had an interview with like Wouter, maybe know Wouter in our community. And like he said, so since we've done the interview, a lot of people have been like reaching out, like we said, like very, very good people reaching out to him directly because they saw because they saw the interview.
Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's Alex Fedotoff, 3F at the end, because I share behind the scenes strategies and things we do in our 8-figure business and also in my personal life. So make sure you follow me and I'll see you there.
Yeah.
I think in this like industry in general, it's like we're entrepreneurs, you know, we're behind the laptops all day long, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, drop shipping stuff. Sometimes, you know, it's like even not very proud of the products that we are selling.
Yeah.
I think that's also another like probably another like reason. But yeah, adding that element of kind of like actually like meeting people. And as you said, I think that's a very good point. Not just like drop shippers, not just people that are kind of like on your level or above even like drop shipping, but people who've actually like built, you know, like big businesses, sold those businesses, kind of like just to get like another perspective on what is possible.
And yeah, I think you have to be proactive with that. Like sometimes it happens like because you just put yourself, like it happens because you put yourself out there, but you also have to be proactive and reach out to people by yourself and not just expect, you know, someone to knock on your door and say, hey, do you want to sell the company?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's such a good, man, I mean, that's such a good perspective. I think everything that you want in life, sometimes it happens, sometimes it happens by accident, but a lot of the times it just comes from like trying different things. You know, like, I mean, you made it like when you joined the program, right? Like you didn't know whether it will work out or not, right? Like you joined the program, you took that step for yourself, and then like few steps, you know, this turns into this turns into this, and you know, here we are, and like in 2 years, like you'll be like on like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think is so cool, then that I hope could inspire somebody else. That, you know, when I joined the program for like in late March 2020, that's a little bit more than a year ago, I, you know, worked with like a kind of shitty salary, and I didn't feel fulfilled with that job. And also, like, until that point that I joined your program, I really hadn't made any profit from the e-com space, and I had no like education related to e-com. And then you see like little more than a year after that, I have not only like built a business that has taken me out of my work and doing, you know, something that I really get fulfilled of, and also I've sold the business. And so that's like in a little more than a year. So that's really given me, like you say, perspective on where can I be if I keep on doing this 10 years or 20 years. Like, I mean, it's so exciting to see, and I'm very thankful for that. And like also to be like a little like humble. I mean, you also got to have some, you know, luck and timing and some, you know, random events that lead to like great things. Example, selling this business, obviously involved in this, but it's also because, you know, you're putting yourself out there, you're investing in things that, you know, help you get there. And that's the thing, like with your mentorship, it has really accelerated, you know, my learning curve. And because like when I posted on LinkedIn like last summer, I still have people contacting me to this day, and they kind of haven't, you know, come anywhere. They are still stuck. That's because they don't like have the surroundings. And so that's why I think it's so crucial to have like something like this, like a mentorship program, because it really accelerates the learning curve. And I think momentum is very important when you build a business. You want the results. Ideally you want the results fast, because that gives you more motivation to keep on grinding.
I was like in New York a few days ago, had some meetings, and you realize how massive, you know, everything is, like the opportunity, like you know, the level of thinking that we have as like entrepreneurs, like 7-8 figure. I mean, it's good, but I mean, there's so many different levels to this, you know, so many levels.
Like, for sure. I mean, but I mean, I still feel like a total newbie in the game, but it's also exciting because, like I said, you can reach to so much bigger levels if you just keep on working, keep on learning, and if you are just curious. So yeah, it's amazing.
That's awesome, man. So you would recommend to entrepreneurs kind of like to get kind of like integrated into some of these like local communities, or reach out to people like that, or maybe like in totally different industries, but are successful, for example, in those industries, learn from them as much as possible, like invest time into growing that network. On the business side, like for example, from like e-commerce, like dropshipping perspective, what have been your major kind of like mindset shifts during this period of growth?
Yeah, I would really say, first of all, of course, you gotta like believe in yourself. You gotta believe that you are able to do it, and really like embody that, because that's very important. And initially, like, you gotta focus on what you can control, which is the daily grind, or the work that you put in, that you can always control that. So start with focusing on that, and just be curious and learn and implement. And then I would say, like, honestly, I think for me at least, it's a lot about testing different stuff. Like you always have to be testing, and because like I mean, there's companies that sells the same products, but some make it work really big and some don't. So you just gotta keep on testing and never stop and never give up. So basically just test so much, and then that data will give you feedback, and then you will know what works better the next time and what doesn't work. So yeah, just keep on testing. That would be my main thing, probably, because like, even if I feel like I know so much more now, it's still hard for me to just say that, oh, this will work, before I have proof of concept. For me, it's like I need proof of concept first before I say that. Of course, I have a better, like, if you would call it, vision, because I've been doing this a lot more now. So I know what works better and what works not so good. But with that being said, you still have to test it before you can be really sure. So always be testing everything, and yeah, just don't give up, basically. And yeah, so the mindset is obviously huge part of everything, and then learn from people that know more than you, and yeah, just be curious, I would say.
Cool. So you mentioned we just started this conversation, you're now in like outside of the city, right?
Yeah.
Do you often take, because for me, I've realized like taking these like breaks, like out of the city, getting closer to the nature, like it helps so much, like to gain like a different like perspective.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
For sure. And I still kind of working my way up to the point where I can like take a break for a few weeks, and just leave the phone and not focus about that, and the business still kind of runs itself. I'm not there yet, but that's where I'm trying to get at, because I agree with you that when you take this time off, and when you take breaks, and when you like drop your phone, your computer, and just like connect with your friends, or with your kids, or with your family, and just be like in nature, I totally agree that gives you perspective, and it also like fuels you with energy, and takes away all these like fast dopamine kicks that you get when you just are on your phone all day, or on your computer. So I think that's very important. That's kind of the reason to why I'm at my parents' house now. It's so much like, it feels like a more free space to work in, like a more open space, and I just feel more creative here than being in my apartment, especially when it's summer and it's good weather. I like to just be like outside and work, and get some lightning in, and that stuff. So yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah.
So when you're growing the business, right? I mean, initially you have some friends, right?
Yeah.
So when you're growing the business, I mean, kind of like the interests change, kind of like what you talk about change, and some people might not be on the same page. Have you had to kind of like sacrifice some of those kind of like time that you spent with your friends in order to grow your business, in order to spend more time on it?
Yeah, for sure. Not at the moment. Now I'm making sure to meet friends every weekend, because it gives me so much in return. But like when I started, the first, like, let's say the first maybe a year or 8 months or something, then I sacrificed a lot of weekends with my friends and a lot of that stuff. And it was not, it was because I was so obsessed with making it work. But you know, later on, you know, my friends they told me like, you know, man, we were really worried about you. We didn't know like if things were okay or how you were feeling. So yeah, I kind of heard that from my like closest friends afterwards. Like they was kind of worried, like, why do you never join us, or why do you never, you know. I mean, that's probably not a good way of doing it. I mean, you got to take, because at the end of the day, if you have no friends or no connections or family, like, what are you even doing? Like, who are you gonna like have fun with? So maybe that was not the best way to do it. But with that being said, also, like, you have to make some sacrifices, especially in the beginning before you get traction, because otherwise you will probably not get traction.
Mm-hmm. Any of your friends like entrepreneurs?
No. So they probably, that's also now, like, since I started this whole journey, I've connected with a lot of entrepreneurs. So now I have a lot of close friends that is entrepreneurs, and they kind of have a different understanding of like general life, or like work life balance and everything like that. So I really like being surrounded with that kind of people too. But I also, you know, keep my friends that are not entrepreneurs, because we have a lot of fun together. But maybe it's harder for them to really understand the like back end of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, my man. Thank you so much for joining me today. Amazing conversation. We'll have another one when I hit 10 million.
Yeah, for sure. And I appreciate being on here today as well. And yeah, thank you for having me.
And guys, you can connect. I'll drop your Instagram, right? So
yeah,
below,
sure.
So you can as well, like, you know, good guys from Sweden. We have, you know, some people watching from like Sweden, like Europe. Connect with Emanuel. He's an amazing guy. And, you know, you never know, you know, it's like one connection here, one connection leads to another. You know, this rule, how they say, is like you're like 6 handshakes from everyone, like from anyone, like from like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, for sure. And that's cool when you think about it. Like the world is not that big. Like you have connections that you maybe don't think about, that has connections with like some really like next level people. And so yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think, and then for those who want to apply kind of what you said before, I think this could be the good like starting point. I was reading like a book, like very good book on hiring, and just to emphasize one point. A lot of people that we hired, for example, they've been like by recommendation, like okay, let's say someone works, and then you ask them, hey, do you know anyone who does this like very well, right?
Yeah.
Or do you know like someone very smart who, you know, you think we should hire? Yeah. And so you kind of like start expanding, because smart people typically know smart people. And I think leveraging that could be like good starting point for everyone. Starting kind of like from their like internal network that they already have. Some people lucky to be like born like in entrepreneurs families. Some people are not. Yeah. But I think you always have someone who knows someone who knows someone, and that person might be the one that kind of like changes the trajectory.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like the first hire that I did. Like the next hire I did after that was by recommendation from the first hire. So like exactly what you were saying there, leverage that, because at least for me and for many people, the most important thing is like, you know, the trust and the loyalty and that they have the mindset. Then you can learn them kind of anything, instead of like, you know, post about a job, and like that process will be much more like tricky, especially in the beginning when you are not when you don't have the experience. So yeah, for sure, leverage everyone you know.
For sure, guys, connect with Emanuel. Should be his Instagram in the description. And thank you so much for watching. Drop any questions, guys, you have. If Emanuel will have a minute, maybe he'll answer those. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you at a million level next one.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.